Hi everyone, it's Desiree and I am here with Scrappy Tail Crafts, and wait till you see what came out of my brain this time. Oh yeah, we got a can't even say it, a double-decker snowman, and we're gonna light him up. So I am digging into the pumpkin pop-up. Now I'm just going to be using the ball part, the pumpkin part. Going to be making a little snowman with a top hat, and I'm using the add-ons. So the snowman faces and the add-ons on the right are part of her new release for Christmas that just came out recently, and then the pumpkin pop-up came out in her autumn release, or Halloween, however you want to say that. So I'm going to start with I had this idea in my head. I'm like, there's got to be a way we can do this. And I know there's other ways, and I'll talk you through why I didn't do what you probably are going to scream, well, why didn't you just use this? Or why didn't you just use this? And I will tell you as we get there. We are going to start first with putting all of our pieces together. So I've got them in this tray. I've done the hat, so I did 2 layers of the hat, 2 layers of the band, and you can see I have like a turquoise color for the band. I chose green for the base of the holly and berries, and then I did a layer of red and then a mirror red for the berries as well. I really pulled out my jelly roll with this. I added some highlights to the hat and the holly. And then now we're going to work on the scarf. So I have 2 layers of the scarf. And now I'm going to fill in with pieces to give it like a dual look. I'm using the same mirror teal cardstock that I used for the band in his top hat. Now there's one, I don't know if I misused it or if I put it in the wrong spot, but I had die cut this a couple times and I just wanted that scarf to have the end piece as well. So I'm just putting that there, and then I'm using the corners in different places as well. So I'm just having fun with these pieces and getting creative with the placement. And then finally found one that I like to go on the end of that. We're going to put our last piece in, and we will bring in the jelly roll on the scarf as well. I did the arms twice with brown cardstock. And then there was something that I was going to do with the arms and forgot. So again, once we get there, hopefully I'll remember. But I have those double layered, and I'm glad I did stop at the 2. And now I have the nose, the cheeks, the eyes, and the little piece underneath the eye, or at least I put it underneath the eye. And then the eyebrows. Eyebrows I'm keeping as 1 layer because, yeah, not going to deal with multiple layers on that. And then those little pieces down on the left-hand side are for the pumpkin, so you'll see. So I added the pink for the tongue inside the mouth. I did that in black. I added a double layer of white behind the rosy cheeks. I'm adding blue on top of the white, and then I'm going to come in with my white jelly roll for the eyeballs. I have a white below the orange to double that up. Wasn't quite sure if the nose was going to go to the left or the right yet. And now I'm putting the black under lids. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. For the eyes. So here I am with the jelly roll. And I have found that with a jelly roll, using a light hand works better than a heavy hand. So just use a light hand, a light tap, and you'll be able to get your dots. And you can see I finished up the whites of the eyes so that I have a blue iris And then I'm going to come in with my black glaze jelly roll and put the eyeballs in. I'm going around the edge of the scarf, and I added white to the baubles hanging from the scarf as well. So we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to work on the panels. Now you see I have 4. Again, this was what was in my head. I'm putting glue on the back of the house so that I can add basically the same color that I have on the hat and the scarf. Yeah, it was all about let's make these kind of match. You don't have to do that. You can just let that alone and be the way that it is, because I'm adding a piece of vellum to the back of these panels. So these 2 layers of the pumpkin, I have the trees and I have the house with the trees. So that's going to be a continuous thing around the center of the bauble. I use then the snow dies along the top and the bottom. There's also a complete snow die if you wanted that to be the center of the bauble. But I wanted to have this scene. Now I am making sure that the vellum is secured and dry before I start doing anything with these panels. Once I've done that, I'm going to create those slits, and I'm taking it right up to the corners where you can see the score lines intersecting. And I'm using a pair of fine tip scissors and just going along the edge of what's already cut in the cardstock. So it's not like, okay, I've got to figure this out. I'm just following that line as to how this die would have gone if the die company could take that in there, like Sabrina said. And yes, you have to do that. Yes, I did try to do it without doing that. No, you cannot. You must do those little slits or this will not work for you. So now I'm folding in these score lines. Yes, it's very rare that I do all of my score lines and get them ready prior. I usually just do a little bend and move on my way. Nope. These, we must make sure that they are scored. Now, what I have found when it comes to the 3 panels that I've cut out, your cardstock is weaker. I'm using a heavyweight cardstock, a 110-pound cardstock, because I knew my cardstock was going to get weak when I did those cutouts. I have found to fold away from those cutouts. So what I mean by that is take the 2 sides on the outside and push them together. So here you'll see. So here you can see me fighting with that. I've got to make sure that everything bends correctly. If you bend it upon itself, the opposite way of what I just did there, it folds so much better. And then just fold it back the way it's supposed to go. So folding it towards you, towards the right side, the outer side first, will help you get these panels to move for you better when you're using a heavier weight cardstock. Because the heavyweight cardstock, yes, it will fold and bend a lot easier with a lighter weight. But I knew with what I was doing, I needed a heavyweight. Okay, so I've got these folds, and I've got them all folded. So we are all there now. So I talked you all through. I'm keeping the majority of the steps in this video, if you haven't figured that out. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add my double-sided tape to all of my tabs. I just want to get that out of the way. I like to work in a production style, even though this is not a project for a production style. type thing. But it's fun. I highly recommend you give this a try because this is kind of cool. Just saying. I'm going to make sure, now these are not, this is not going to flatten. This is a home decor piece. The bobbles are going to stay round. They are going to stay solid. At least I want them to stay solid. All right. So I'm putting double-sided tape on all of the end tabs and all of the tabs along the inside. These right here. All right. And I'm making sure that I have those covered as well. Now, I encourage you to watch Sabrina's videos on how she constructs this. She does it easier. I'm going to tell you that right now. She knows this and she just makes it so easy. I have watched those videos and obviously I'm choosing not to follow her direction. But it still works. So again, you'll have two different ways to put the bobble together and then you can do what works best for you. So now that I have all my tape on, now we're ready to go. So this is the one that you should not follow. So I'm taking the two bobbles and I want to get them together. So I'm matching up these two pieces. It's at this point here, you do want to flip them like I have it and continue the flip. Put the inside to the inside. Don't do what I'm doing here. Do not do this. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's what we do when we craft. We think, hey, this is right, because everything's going to match up. Yeah, you can't turn it. You can't flip it inside out. So what I'm doing here and throughout is what you want to do. So I have the one side together. There's the thumbs up. The one side together. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So once you have the one side together, I'm going to get all my tape off of the other side for both pieces. I add glue. That gives me a little bit of wiggle time when it comes to the tape. So adding glue to the tape helps you to be able to set these in place if you have to, but also strengthens the bond at which you're adhering this piece together. Now, I do flatten this out. I really go against those creases to make sure that these are now together. Guys, you have to remember, I have sped this video up, so you have to let these dry together. Now, Sabrina, when she puts hers, these side pieces, those corners together, I'll tell you once we get there. Let's focus on this. So as you can see, I'm getting myself confused. Here, you want to make sure that your pattern is the same direction, meaning the trees are facing the same way up and on each panel. I almost put them on upside down. Doing the same thing, getting that first tab together, lining it up with the line in the hole for the rubber band if you use that, getting these bent down, and now working on the second ones. Already having the tape release paper off, just adding the glue and pushing down. Yes, I know when you push this down, you are seeing the tabs coming through the window. You won't do that because, again, we're not making this a card that'll go flat. We're keeping the bobbles round, okay? Keeping them in that direction. So once I have these together, I fold it flat and just press that down to get the shape. Now we're going to focus in on those tabs. What Sabrina does, she puts those top pieces, the skinny pieces, to those tabs first before adding the 3 side tabs together. I chose to not do it that way. When I unfold it, unflatten it, it automatically forms over those tabs, and I can get my fingers in and just press. So that's what I did. I should have made sure the bobble itself, that center piece, that center row of squares were scored even more to get a stronger crease. In some cases, it didn't destroy the bobble. I just could have scored them a little bit better because it will give you a better definition of the bobble. So just a little tidbit. Just a little tidbit. Here, I'm just making sure everything's together and making sure that it's flat, that it's not rocking the boat. I didn't do anything crooked or anything like that. And you can see I'm trying to fix some of those score lines to get them in. So now the fun comes in. Yes, the fun is coming in. So what I'm doing here is I have this snow paste. It's by Décor, and I'm putting it along the top edge of the bobble where I have the cutouts. I'm putting it kind of thick, but making sure it's going over the top, but it's hanging out the edge. I'm now going to take the top bobble and I'm setting that on top of it, and I'm going to add a very thick bead of glue. A very thick bead of glue. And I'm going to set that now down into this snow. I'm now going to come in with my palette knife and sculpt the snow between these two bobbles. Just tap it. So I'm going to have this row of snow that's just going to sit in between. With the glue and this snow paste, when it dries, I'm going to have a very secure piece. I was hoping. I didn't know. Because the pieces were not completely lining up. Now, I could have used the bottom piece that comes with the pumpkin pop-up. And I could have cut out a section of it and had that in there. I could have done that. I forgot to do that, to be very honest with you. But I really like the effect of what I got with the snow and the glue. And yes, when it dried, it was like concrete. So it worked perfectly. I don't know if you could use gesso or modeling paste. I do not know. I'm assuming yes with the modeling paste. I don't know with gesso. Okay, so then I have the arms, and I'm going to use the holes, the snow holes that I have there. And what I did was I cut on an angle from the bottom to get more of a sharper point. I loaded that up with glue, and then I pushed them through the holes on each side. You can see I've placed the scarf just up underneath the snow on the bottom bobble on the top of it. I'm now placing the adorable face, and I thought it was cute to have him, you know, of course, looking up. I did decide to have the carrot going to the left on him, to the right for us. I have the mouth going off to the side as if he's a happy, jolly guy. I'm putting in what I believe are the eyebrows. And then we're going to place the hat on top of this top bobble. So it's going to lean back just a little bit, just like the scarf is. And that's what that looks like. Now, off camera, because I didn't realize I wasn't filming, I did add more snow to the top of the top bobble. Now, this is hollow all the way through, and that's what I wanted, because with all of the panels that we have, we can now take a tea light and place it up into the snowman. And all of the panels on the bottom will light up along with all of those holes that we've die cut, and it'll come out the top. So it's really cool. I'm really, you know, when an idea just comes together and it works, it really makes you smile. And this one did too. I had fun creating this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I gave you some ideas for those of you that have this pumpkin pop-up. There is so much more that you can do with it. We have just scratched the surface. I do still encourage you to watch Sabrina's videos. What she does with these dies is absolutely amazing. And the way she puts them together, please follow her direction, not mine. I kind of go all over the place. But as always, the products that I used will be listed down below. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below as well. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. That's what's helping everybody. So everybody you follow, make sure you hit that thumbs up. That's what's helping people get out there so more people can see their videos and they can be inspired as well, and we can reach more. Enjoy the process of the art that you're creating. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Try new things. It's paper. Have fun with paper. Remember, it's got two sides. But don't ever give up. And always keep being creative, guys. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then.